The Chicago metropolitan area is a Tier 1 global hub. It draws in elite talent, supports massive corporate headquarters, and generates high-income careers. For decades, successful professionals have translated those high incomes into a specific suburban lifestyle. Places like Naperville offer a vibrant, established community with highly developed downtowns and excellent infrastructure. But for many high earners, living in these premium zip codes introduces a specific friction point. This is where a high gross income is aggressively neutralized by severe holding costs. The most aggressive of these costs is the property tax burden. In DuPage County, the effective property tax rate hovers over 2%, meaning the owner of a family home is regularly writing a non-recoverable check for $12,000 to $14,000 every single year. Those recurring costs drag down personal balance sheets. When a massive portion of your post-tax income goes simply to maintaining your right to live in your own house, your primary residence ceases to function as a financial asset. For a growing number of families in Naperville, achieving traditional suburban success has quietly morphed into a permanent cash flow problem, one that requires a geographical change to solve. That solution is geographical arbitrage. You take your existing assets and income capacity and move them to a nearby jurisdiction with significantly lower financial friction. Migration data shows a steady outflow from DuPage County directly into Hamilton County, Indiana. Specifically, families are targeting Westfield as a destination for their capital. They are trading the mature, expensive energy of the Chicago area for the rapidly developing economic engine of the Indianapolis metro. Moving to Westfield is a strategic pivot. It is a suburb designed around newer infrastructure and vast sports campuses like Grand Park. To understand why this migration is accelerating, we have to run a strict head-to-head comparison. We'll isolate the purchase price, the holding taxes, and the school quality. If the math holds up to scrutiny, moving 180 miles southeast might be the most productive financial decision a household can make. This split-screen matrix tracks entry fees for a baseline 3,000 square foot, newer construction home. In Naperville, that tier requires $620,000 to $680,000, roughly $215 per square foot. In Westfield, the cost drops to $410,000 to $450,000, or about $140 per square foot. The immediate equity difference is significant. You retain between $170,000 and $270,000 in capital simply by changing your zip code. And the physical product is nearly identical. These Indiana properties deliver 4 to 5 bedrooms, open-concept main levels, and attached 2 to 3 car garages on standard 7,000 to 9,000 square foot lots. There is an infrastructure trade-off. Westfield delivers newer subdivisions lined with trails and modern parks, but you do forfeit the historic downtown and established transit networks of Naperville. You secure the exact same home footprint at a 35% discount. That frees up liquidity the moment you sign the closing papers. This diagram highlights recurring annual taxes. DuPage County's 2.1% rate pushes the annual tax bill on our baseline Naperville home to between $12,800 and $14,500. In Hamilton County, Indiana, taxes are capped near 1%, dropping the Westfield bill to under $5,000. Illinois levies a 4.95% state income tax, while Indiana takes a flat 2.95%. Combine this with the property tax reduction, and a household generates a guaranteed arbitrage of over $10,000 in total annual savings. Realizing these savings requires location independence. You need a remote-friendly career, a portable business, or a willingness to transfer into the Indianapolis job market. If you live in Indiana while maintaining a W-2 tied strictly to an Illinois office, dual state tax liabilities can negate your income tax advantage. The physical location of the work determines your liability. But if your income is portable, you reclaim enough yearly cash flow to fully fund a 529 plan or a retirement account, requiring no lifestyle adjustments. Adding a final matrix row for school rankings addresses the assumption that lower costs mean lower academic standards. Naperville ranks as the number 11 district in Illinois with an A+ grade. Westfield-Washington ranks number 7 in Indiana, also carrying an A+ grade, representing statistical parity. Naperville's massive tax base does fund a higher density of specialized extracurricular programs, but the baseline instruction, college readiness, and test scores are matched. Westfield delivers top-tier public education. It does so without the housing premium found in Illinois. To accurately judge this data, you have to stop looking at the cost of a single move and start looking at a 10-year wealth trajectory. This chart tracks the result of selling the Naperville property for $650,000, buying the Westfield home for $430,000, and investing that $220,000 difference while adding in your tax savings each year. This visualization shows the difference between a household carrying high taxes versus one redirecting that same capital into investments. When you save $15,000 a year in lower taxes and a reduced cost of living, you accumulate over $150,000 in raw cash across a decade, before factoring in any market returns on that principal. This makes the Illinois to Indiana pipeline a functional strategy specifically for professionals whose incomes are no longer tied to a physical desk in the Chicago Loop. Indiana is offering an immediate, yearly cash flow boost. Over the span of a career, redirecting that capital is a decision that can alter a family's total net worth by hundreds of thousands of dollars. We can separate buyers into two distinct profiles to help determine if this move is viable. First is the max value migrator. You have a remote or hybrid career, you prioritize square footage and modern amenities, and you treat your primary residence as a financial tool. Westfield is optimized for you. Second is the status quo defender. You rely on daily proximity to the Chicago core. You have deep family roots in DuPage County, or you place a high premium on historic suburban architecture. If you fit that second profile, the social and logistical friction of moving states will likely outweigh the tax savings. Do not follow real estate trends blindly. Pull your local county tax records, evaluate your company's remote work policy, and run your own numbers based on your specific lifestyle requirements. The data shows that the Indiana arbitrage is lucrative. You just have to ensure the math aligns with your family's long-term trajectory before you pack the boxes.